Get your earballs ready. Welcome to the Greg and Tim Show podcast. Take time to sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Here are your hosts, Greg and Tim.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the show.
Back. 3 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
3 weeks in a row that
Two
we have
in a
got
row.
ditched by Scarlett Johansson. Her management called again, said she was unable to
This
come.
isn't only the second
and-
week in a row. It's been 3 of 4.
Right. Yeah.
3 of 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson has decided that
She doesn't
she
wanna
is
hang
too
out with
good
us.
for the Greg and Tim
No,
show.
she said it will definitely
Scarlett.
be next week.
Scarlett, what? Come on. I implore you.
Yeah. He does implore.
I implore
he
you.
very much implores.
Think of the children.
Yeah.
By children, I mean me.
the Implorium.
I just want to talk.
Just wants to talk.
Figure out like where you are,
We just want to have a conversation.
what you've been up to.
If anyone's
is?
seen Scarlett Johansson.
So I want to know these 3 things. 3, 4, maybe 5. Who is Scarlett Johansson?
Yep.
Tell me something.
where is Scarlett
Well,
Johansson?
she'll be here when we ask these questions. Tell me something we wouldn't know about
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson. What are your 3 favorite places in Winnipeg
Yeah.
or Manitoba to
Yeah.
go to?
A place she's never been to.
If you could have dinner with somebody dead or alive,
Yeah.
who would it be?
These sound a lot like the questions we ask all of our guests.
What piece of advice
What if
would
she
you
messaged
give
us all
somebody?
of these things? If she's out there,
Scarlett, if you're listening, Scarlett,
and you
if
feel
you're
badly
listening,
about not being on the show for a
About
third week in
not-
a row,
like,
those are the questions set
we
aside
know
by
that
my
you
friend
have a private
Gregory
plane. Like, just get on the plane,
Stewart.
fly here. We just want to ask the questions.
They have direct flights from LA. That's all I'm saying. Direct flights
Yeah, she's flying coach
with Scott Arneal.
with Scott O'Neill. Here's Johnny.
Scarlett.
Hey,
Tell me 3 things.
which brings me to this special episode of the Greg and Tim
this is
Show.
a special
This
episode.
is
that's
not
for sure.
a regular episode. This
Not
is
a regularly
special.
scheduled episode.
This is a regularly it's Monday. It's here. And if you're not listening on Monday, where were you all week?
Is it Monday? Is it Monday?
It's not Monday when we record,
Oh.
but it's Monday when we
Yeah.
put this out.
Yeah.
And if you weren't here on Monday
Yeah.
listening
Or watching.
or watching
Or both.
or just watching and not hearing, can you imagine if they just watch the video and they're like, I want to read their lips. And then I literally talk right
Have
behind
you
the
ever
microphone.
watched yourself?
Hello.
No, listen. Have you ever watched yourself when you just watch yourself and you're not actually hearing anything? It's just visual. It totally changes everything. Like whether you're singing, whether you're talking, like, and you're just looking at your facial movements and your body movements. Like some of the things that you don't recognize when you're just listening to yourself and watching yourself is crazy.
Have you
Anyway,
ever done it?
Yeah, I have.
You've watched yourself?
And I'd be like, and you these.
You
No,
become
like-
a pirate?
Yes,
I'm watching myself.
I become a gypsy
matey.
pirate. Anyway, but
Gypsy pirate?
someone had said the other day that their kid asked what a gypsy was, and they basically said, "Well, it's like a land pirate." That wasn't me. But,
Hmm.
Yeah, my wife's part gypsy.
Is she?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, part gypsy.
We can't leave her alone in the house then.
Well, that very nice people, I guess. They're just trying to survive like everybody else.
Don't they steal?
Just trying to survive like everybody else. That's what the kid in Aladdin did.
He was a gypsy?
Oh, he stole things.
Yeah.
He was poor. He had to.
But he was poor.
He had to.
He wasn't a
And
gypsy.
I'm
He
sure
was a
they-
street. He
they're
was a
just trying
street
to-
urchin. That's what they called him. Street urchin.
Everyone's trying to get by. Everyone's just trying to get by. Do what they need to do.
Yeah. So a special episode brings us all those questions we have for Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Today,
After a year,
Wait.
after a year and a month of asking 54 guests. No, wait, 20 guests. How many guests have we had?
we've had a bunch.
Okay.
Well, the
those
number's right
questions,
here,
I thought to myself, we have not answered the questions that we've asked our guests, and it
But
is
we
about
have.
time because people have demanded that we answer the questions that we asked. Demanded.
Who?
I don't know. Scott Arneal.
Scott Arneal. Tim, will you please answer the question? Tim.
Let's do it.
So we're gonna ask Tim the questions that I would normally ask a guest,
Yeah.
and Tim's going to answer them for us today.
Well, we're both going to do that.
Oh, really?
Yes, we're
I'm
both
not
gonna do
prepared for that.
Yeah, I'm not prepared for it either.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
Okay, let's start out. Who is Tim Sanderson?
You know what? Okay, so I'm going to preface this by
That way I
saying
can think about why my answer
this is such a hard
Mm.
question to
Yeah.
answer. Every time I ask a guest this, I feel like, oh, this is, and you know, the funny thing is, a couple of people actually, I think it was Drew Dudley, who was prepared for it because he had said he was asked that question earlier in his life or whatever, a couple of years ago before. He wasn't prepared. He had no answer for it.
Yeah.
And he went back and he found an answer so that when we asked him that question, he knew exactly what his response was.
Who's Drew Dudley?
Who is Drew Dudley? Drew Dudley is a work in progress. And basically, if you want to talk about who I am in terms of what keeps me busy every day, I am an author and a speaker. And what I try to do is take a perspective on leadership that I developed at the University of Toronto and spread it as far and wide as I possibly can. It was developed based on, I was really inspired by some students who weren't giving themselves the credit they deserved as terms of leaders in the world. And I turned into somebody who, I guess if you want to put it down simply, Drew Dudley is a storyteller. And what I've tried to do is, because the story is the basic unit of human understanding, what I try to do is take ideas that I believe are important and wrap them in Velcro so they stick. Because I don't want to ever claim that any of the stuff that I say is completely original and no one's ever thought or no one's ever said it before. But I think our job as speakers and people who are trying to convey ideas, people who traffic in ideas, it's our job to take things that other people know already, wrap them in Velcro so it sticks. And ultimately, that's basically what I try to do, is take good ideas, wrap them up in Velcro so you remember them, and share them with other people. So I'm my buddy Blake used the term professional sentimentalist, and I kind of liked it, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
But it is such a hard question, I think. And
let's preface it right now.
And I'm throwing
the
myself
question again is
who is
Tim Sanderson?
And I think that most people, and I'm going to throw myself in this group, most people live their whole life not knowing exactly who they are. And I struggle with that question, who I am.
Okay.
I can tell you aspects of myself. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a hard worker. I have integrity. I'm honest. Those are if you want to talk about the positive, and of course, everyone has positives and negatives about themselves. We always just portray our positives, right? But those are some of the things that I would say define me as a person.
Yeah.
Right. But I have thought to myself long and hard since, and this question that we ask people really made me think.
Yeah.
Who I am. And some
Did you prepare
some days
a different answer?
No, some days I don't. Some days are different. Not every day is different. Some days I don't know who I am.
No?
What I am. No. I struggle with that question.
You struggle with your identity?
I think sometimes, yeah. Yeah. I do. And I'm just being transparent and honest.
What do you identify as?
What do I identify as? Well, I know you belong to certain groups of people, so you can throw things out like I'm indigenous, I'm a father, I'm a Christian.
Those are all obvious things.
Those are obvious things, right?
Yeah.
Those are things that.
But some of our best answers from our guests have been answers that are heartfelt and deep,
right?
Like not just I am a white male working.
Yes.
So like, yeah.
And we're all evolving. I'm trying to become. It's a process, right?
Yeah.
I am, nearing my 50th year of life, and I think I am just learning some of these things.
Yeah.
Right. But those things that I said, I value certain things.
Yeah.
Like I say, honesty, integrity, responsibility.
Okay.
And in those aspects of who I am, and what those groups that I belong to. So, are we going to keep going on myself, or am I going to throw the question right back?
Totally up to you.
Okay. Who is Greg Stewart?
Greg Stewart. So, I was going to start with something you don't know about me, but we'll do that next. I am somebody who I view as a survivor. I view myself as somebody who is continually fighting to create an identity that is worthy of myself. So I am somebody who is a survivor who I feel has lived multiple lives in the short amount of years that I've lived so far, because I'm younger than you.
True.
And I honestly think that my journey in myself is evolved, and I am a father of 4 that loves my kids, enjoys family life, and I am an introvert with extroverted tendencies that is continually working on my faith and my ability to be better as a person.
Okay.
That's Greg.
Can you tell me?
I love how your
I-
segment's 8 minutes and mine's 35 seconds.
No.
But that's okay.
It's okay. Our
Yeah.
answers are our answers.
Yeah.
Can't be judged. You got a 7 out of 10. Anyway,
You got 4.
out of 5. The
3. 4 out of 3.
Tell me something that we don't know. And I'm talking slowly because I got to think about the same thing coming back at me
Yeah.
about Greg Stewart.
Funny thing is, this segment was bred out of a segment called Something You Don't Know About Tim.
Yeah.
Time for the segment. Something you don't know about Tim. Do go on. Tell us more.
And we just took that segment into our guests.
Yeah.
And said, well, tell us something we don't know about you without. And here's the thing, that question, who is and something you don't know, are the only 2 questions that we give to our guests. Those are the only 2 questions that our guests know they're going to get asked. Other than that, they come in here cold.
What about the one? Oh, that we tell them beforehand.
Yes. We email them 2 questions.
Right.
We're going to break the ice with 2 questions. Who is and something we don't know about you.
Right.
If you want to prepare for that, prepare for that.
Right.
If you don't, wing it.
That's true.
We can tell the guests that have prepared for it, and we can tell the guests that have not prepared for it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's their personality.
And that's the test.
Something you don't know about me, though, is that I used to fix airplanes. And I used to actually take apart engines off of airplanes, put them back together, put them onto airplanes, and then one time I actually had to go on a test flight after putting the engine together and putting it onto the airplane. That was the scariest flight I've ever been on in my life.
Where was that?
Here in Winnipeg.
Okay.
Yeah. So I worked for a small airline here in Winnipeg where I fixed airplanes. I did that for, I believe, 8 months total.
Right.
I went to school for that. I took school at Tech Bach, which was at the time, it was called the Aerospace Maintenance and Manufacturing Orientation Program. AMOP was what they called it.
Tech Bach used to be called that?
No, that's the program.
Okay. Yeah.
And then after that, I took GTRO, Gas Turbine Repair and Overhaul at Red River. Took that. And then from there, I got hired and did that for a little bit. And that's something you don't know about me. A lot of people don't know that about me.
Right.
Yeah. So let me hear something I don't know about Tim for the first time ever.
The problem is we did this segment for the first how many
3 episodes?
No, it was more than that.
I think it was 3 or 4 episodes.
No, so I've laid down about 12 or 13 things you don't know.
No,
about me.
it was not that many.
No, it was.
You can go back and check. But anyways.
It was. And so I'm having a hard time if I repeat something.
Again, this is your episode idea.
No,
and you don't have anything prepared.
No, I'm telling you, I have something.
Okay.
But in the back of my mind,
Did I tell him already?
did I already tell this about
I
myself?
hope it's that you're a history major.
No, it's not
Okay.
that I'm a history. Which by the way,
Which is one of our most viewed shorts of all time.
is it?
Yes.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Did I tell the story about when I was a wee little lad, and I sang in a children's choir?
You know what's funny? Even if you told that story, I don't remember.
So
And B, nobody listened to it.
so
So let's hear it.
so I sang in the Winnipeg Mennonite Children's Choir when I was a wee young lad,
Yeah.
and actually
Your name
sang-
was Lee at the time.
I sang. Stacey Natchez was in the choir at the same
Oh.
time. She was taller than me and older than me, Or was she? She was.
And more
yeah,
female.
she was more female, and my voice was.
Sorry,
my voice was still up here, and then 1 year in the summer, I went, and then I said, "Hello, choir director. I can't sing in the choir because my voice isn't high." And all the songs were high, and I couldn't sing, so I dropped
You had to
out
quit
of
choir?
I quit the children's choir. Yeah, so. But that one summer, my voice just
What was the children's choir called?
Winnipeg Mennonite Children's Choir, directed
WMCC.
directed by Mrs. Litz, who has since passed.
Aw.
She passed actually at the beginning of COVID. So wonderful lady, and it was we went to it was the first time we went to Halifax was singing to the East Coast was when we were doing a concert tour.
Yeah.
So we went to Halifax, St. John's, Newfoundland, New Brunswick, all those places.
And Miss Litz.
Mrs. Litz.
Mrs. Litz.
So yeah.
I did not
It's
hear
wonderful.
that story before.
Yeah.
That you got kicked out of the boys'
I
choir.
did not get it was a co-ed choir, first of all. It wasn't a boys' choir. I always remember.
See, here's the thing: the difference between me and you
Yeah.
is you tell me something I don't know about you,
Yeah.
and I proceed to talk about it
Yeah.
and show interest.
Yeah.
And I tell you something you don't know about me, and you proceed to move on to the next subject.
You just finished saying it wouldn't matter what I said, you will have forgotten it.
Yeah.
That's what you said. And now you're saying I don't take what you say seriously?
Yeah,
But you just said you forget everything I say.
yeah, but I show
Which
interest.
you do. Oh, so you feign interest. You
I
feign
show
interest. No, you
interest
feign.
during the episode.
Feign interest. You pretend like you actually care and you
No.
don't.
After
If you
you're
did,
done,
you'd remember.
after you're done your story,
I will say, and this is something I'll say things to you. I don't remember you saying it. I just said that last week.
after your story, I will show interest and continue
You-
on with it.
I
After
will-
my story,
I will
I tell you
remember.
something.
I'll remember that you fixed.
I tell you who is Greg Stewart. Okay, let's move on to the next subject. What's something you don't know about Greg? And I tell you, and you're like, "Well,
I
you want to know something you don't know about me?"
I remember
This
that.
was a subject.
I remember that you fixed sailboats.
Sailboats. That's right. Can you imagine?
All right, let's move on to the next question.
Really?
Yeah,
What was the next question?
the next question was there one before? What would you tell your younger self? A piece of advice?
The advice one is the last question we ask in every episode.
No, but was there something before that?
Yeah,
you
there's
say?
2 other questions before
Well,
that.
then remind me.
Your top favorite places
Okay, let's go to
in Manitoba,
Let's go to that one.
and person dead or alive that you would love to have.
Top 3 places. Do you want me to go first, or are you going to go first?
You can go first this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how much interest I show.
Feign.
I show interest.
Feign.
We'll watch this back later and you'll see.
Number-
Then again, you didn't watch the last episode,
number-
so who knows if you'll watch this one.
Number 1. I watched it. You sent it to me at Saturday at like 8 o'clock. I'm watching a movie.
In the morning.
Or Sunday.
Sunday at 8 in the morning.
8 in the evening. In the evening.
It was way earlier.
I was
than
like
that.
watching a movie. I was watching Wolves.
Wolves.
Wolves. Is it Wolves?
It's Wolves
Yeah.
with an F.
Anyways, George Clooney, who is my
Remember when WWF became WWE?
and then killed it? Yeah.
No. So WWF was being sued by the WWF, which was World Wildlife Fund.
Yeah.
And then they changed to WWE, and their slogan was, "We got the F out."
Evan, have you ever seen an F this big?
World Wrestling Entertainment. Get the F out.
Thanks, I needed that.
Yeah, I forgot that. I totally forgot that.
WWE, we got the F out.
Oh.
Anyways, tell me your top 3
And these are going to be in order from descending order.
from best to worst.
From the last and my favorite one is going to be number 1.
Okay.
Which is a surprise, which you're going to find lame.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is
I'll feign
but
interest.
it's my happy it's my happy place.
I'll get Scott Arneal to show his interest.
Number 3, Clear Lake, Manitoba.
Oh,
Specifically, we have a chalet in Elkhorn Resort, which we're going to go to later on this month. But
is it chalet or chalet?
the chalet,
Okay.
and but I like Clear Lake. It's a nice, quiet place out there, and we always go when it's quiet. October is not very full.
You love escaping.
And number 2, I'm going to have a tie between the Bombers and Jets going to the stadium and the arena. Not the arena, but
So sporting events in Winnipeg.
yeah, sporting
Is
events
number
is
two.
number 2. Both are tied.
So what's your favorite part of a sporting event in Winnipeg?
Just when the crowd, when you have a full crowd and they're into it and the Jets are doing well, which is why
When was the last Bomber game you went to?
last year.
Perfect.
I haven't been to this year. I fully admit I have not gone to many sporting events in the last couple of years.
You have gone to lots of sporting events. You didn't say it properly. I have not gone to a lot of sporting events in Winnipeg.
Locally, yeah, I haven't done a lot.
And it's too bad because you are missing out on a great Bomber season. I just didn't give you any free tickets this year. Last year I gave you 2 games.
I fully admit that everything that happened during COVID kind of shut me off. So
it's a local sport.
It's a local sports, and I just haven't gotten back into the habit of going.
Yeah.
And when the team loses, it's like,
but the Bombers have been winning.
They have, well, they're doing
and the Jets have been making the playoffs.
7 straight wins for the Bombers, which is awesome. So,
well, that's at time of recording, which is like a long time ago now.
Yeah,
but
they've won a few games in a row at the time of recording.
Yeah,
number 2,
no,
number 1.
This is your favorite place to go.
Is Thermea.
Yeah.
And you know what?
So if you don't know what Thermea is, it's a outdoor spa in Winnipeg. It's one of 3, I believe, in Canada. 4 now, I think.
One of 3 from that company. There's other Nordic spas, but whatever that company is called, that
Nordic Spa is what it's called.
No, Nordic Spa is a type of spa. The company itself is called something else. But we went to a Nordic Spa in Nova Scotia. And it's
we'll
not
show
the,
the bottom here what company it is.
Yeah. So anyway, and you know what? I forgot I had a 4th one. My happy place is McDonald's coffee. Sitting at McDonald's having coffee.
That can be done anywhere.
No, at McDonald's it
can be done anywhere in the world.
That's true. So that's why it's not in the top 3. So those are my top 3.
4. You got 4.
4. Okay.
You got to say 4.
Okay. Those are 4.
How many I get?
That means you have to have at least 4.
Okay. Do you want to know number 1?
Yep.
Or number 4?
I would like to know number 2.
Okay.
No, just give it to me whatever order.
So, not in any specific order, but I'm going to give you first. I'm going to start with a restaurant.
Okay.
This restaurant is one that I discovered probably like 3 years ago now, and ever since discovering it, I want to replicate the dish that they make, and you can't have it because you're allergic to carbs, but it's called the Fett Chile at Cafe Carlo.
Cafe Carlo, which is a very good restaurant.
Cafe Carlo, such a great. I'm sure that it's not underrated because I think everybody I tell that has been there knows
There's
how
lots of
great
people
it
who
is.
still don't know where it is, but it's a small, very small restaurant.
It's a very small restaurant,
Lilac and
but it's
South
popular
Florida.
amongst the people that go to it and have been to it.
Yeah.
So I am wrecking the opportunity for me to get a reservation now, because if people listen to our podcast and say, I want to go to Cafe Carlo because Greg says it has the best food called the Fett Chile, and you go to get that Fett Chile, make sure that you're getting the Fett Chile, but as an appetizer, get the fried chicken.
As an appetizer, you get the fried chicken.
There's a fried chicken appetizer. It's a couple pieces of fried chicken. It's got like this buttermilk fried chicken. No, it is an appetizer.
I know. I'm just imagining talking to a third world person from a third world country. Before we have our real food, we have fried chicken and sides. What?
But the fried chicken is so good, and they give you bread as an appetizer too.
Well, yeah,
free.
of course.
But the bread, I believe the bread always has a different butter,
right?
Like a different flavor butter to it. And, oh my goodness! Now, I'm like literally, like I can't. I'm choking on my own spit. I'm drooling so much.
Yeah, and there's a picture of the dish right here.
A Cafe Carlo.
Okay, and by the way, just all you have to do is make sure you reserve your table like a week in advance.
Yeah. You just go on.
Just don't try
open.
booking it 2 days in advance for a Saturday booking.
And they're closed on Sunday, Monday.
Yeah.
Just go
Sunday.
Yeah, and Monday. Just go to Open Table. You can book it on there.
Yeah.
Number 2 is going to be one that I like more so for the atmosphere, not really for the service. When I tell you where, you'll understand if you've been there. Hecla Resort, Lakeview Resort in Hecla.
We were there once. I think we were there once. Very nice.
So I love the trail to the lighthouse. I love the pool area for the kids is awesome with the water slide. It has the best part about this place, unlike Elkhorn where you stay, in Hecla, the pools are separated.
Right.
So on one side is the kids pool with the water slide and all the kids fun stuff,
Yep.
super loud, still a hot tub in there and a little tiny lazy river. On the other side is an adults only spa like area.
It's like the naked side.
The naked side. And in the adults only side, they have a hot tub, which is a giant hot tub.
Right.
They have a warm tub, which is a giant warm tub. They have a hot tub, which could fit like 4 people into it. They have a cold plunge, and then they have a indoor-outdoor pool that you could swim from indoors to outdoors and then swim back in from outdoors to indoors because it goes both ways.
Yeah.
I really like that place for the kids because it's the ability for them to have fun.
Yeah.
And it's great when you go with like couples and stuff because the guys can stay with the kids, the women can go to the adult side. The women can stay with the kids, the guys can go to the adult side. And it is licensed for anybody that likes to partake in those kind of libations.
Alcoholic beverages?
It is licensed on the adult side, so they do serve alcohol on the adult side. So that's number 2.
Okay, number 2.
But I'm going to preface that by saying that, the service isn't bad there. Like, the food is good. The restaurant actually was much better the last time I went there. Maybe because it's not COVID now, it's become better.
That did affect the service by the amount of employees that were available to do things.
Yeah.
And the choice of which kind of employees you
The
have.
other benefit to Hecla that most people don't know is that the employees actually live on site. So the employees actually have accommodations on site that the owner has in place.
There you go.
So it's very good that way. So I really like Hecla. My third, do I get 4 or do I only get 3?
Well, I took 4, so you can have 4 too.
Oh, is that how?
Or you could just do 3. I threw that in there out of my own volition.
Okay, so I'm gonna do 2 more.
Okay,
one more activity and one more restaurant.
Yeah.
The extra activity is Activate Sports. Avery Martin from Big Brother talked about it. I second that motion. Activate Sports is such a fun place to go to with adults. Like with kids, it might be fun too, but when you go with people that are your age and you're competing and you're playing, A, wear shorts and something you can sweat in. B, wear runners. C, don't do the laser one because your knees will get all burnt up on the flooring.
The pattern stuff just messes with me. Anything like I just give up.
The whole place.
I sit because I'm shooting basketballs. I'm sniping those things with a gun. No
There's
problem.
No gun.
Yeah, there's a gun. There's one that you snipe things with the gun. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there is. Don't tell me I'm wrong. I'm not going crazy.
Remember a
but the things that
one.
you got to do the pattern thing, I just sit there and let you do it. I can't do it.
I do not remember a sniper one.
Anyway,
Anyway, that's my second thing. My third, my second restaurant. So Cafe Carlo, Hecla, which is restaurant activities, Activate, which is just activities. My last restaurant is one that is very near and dear to my heart. It is the restaurant where I had my first date with my wife, and it is called Sukhothai.
Oh, Sukhothai, yes.
On Osborne. Amazing Thai food. Ask for the sticky rice. And we get the pad puck, we get the mee krob, and we get the pad thai.
Right.
Those are the 3 meals that every time we go, Lorraine's like, let's try something new. And every time we go, I get one of those 3. And she'll get one of those 3.
She gets something bland.
Bland. She sent me a text the other day. I don't eat bland food. And I'm like, yeah, you kind of do.
Have you? Okay, question for you. And those are 4 awesome places. See,
Thanks for reinforcing me.
well, I'm showing interest
Yeah.
in the things that I totally forgot about already.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Have you tried other Thai places
Yes.
and you compared the two and you still think
Yeah, there's a Thai place on, is it St. Anne's that a friend got Thai food from, and I didn't really like it, but they love it.
it's the non-pronounceable name that starts with X, I think, right?
Can't remember.
Yeah, it's that one.
There's a couple Thai places. I just found a new pho place. Pho, Pho.
Yeah.
So this is how it's spelt. and
I
I'm
know.
Gonna, I'm gonna have you pronounce it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's spelled Pho,
Faux.
and then Cuuu, Long, or sorry, Lon,
A lung.
lon. Okay, so
No,
pronounce it.
No.
Pho,
No. No.
Q,
Yeah.
long.
Okay, say it faster.
That's what it's called. It's on St. Mary's.
Okay. If anyone wants to go
Pho, Q long.
Okay.
That's what it's called. Do I have to bleep that?
I don't know. It's the name of the business.
I guess.
I have no idea what you're talking about. That's the name of the business. Is there some kind of joke behind it?
I don't know, but I had food there and it was good.
You can decide if you want.
It was a
to
big meal too. It was a salad. You would like it
Okay, let's get it. Now I want to go have
because it's a salad.
salad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I like
Before
it.
our meal, we have fried chicken and bread with a different type of butter. Then we have our meal.
Which is carbs.
I can barely feed myself. Thanks for telling me your story.
You're telling me you have that much water that you poop into it now?
Jim
Have you seen that? Have you seen that meme where it's the kid that's like this, like the thinking to the woman? He's like,
Yeah.
"You are telling me that you have enough water that you could just poop in it and flush it?"
Oh,
If you
it's
think
funny.
about it, if you think about that,
yeah.
we poop into water
yeah.
and then flush it.
Yeah.
Whereas some places don't even have water. Like, I'm not joking about this. That is
Yeah.
extremely strange.
Right, which is the part of the same
like,
joke.
why can't we just
Yeah.
poop into a hole?
Well, sanitary reasons, obviously, but that's what 100 years ago in our country. That's what we did, or
Yeah.
150 years ago, whatever it is.
So we're going to change gears here. We're not going to do the person dead or alive yet.
Yep.
We're going to do a little game I like to call This or That.
Okay.
There's time for this, or that.
Do we have different questions?
No, I have them all.
But are we
'Cause I
just
came
gonna
prepared.
blurt?
I came prepared.
Okay,
Did you come prepared?
maybe we'll see.
Okay. I'll ask the questions and you
Yeah.
say the answer and I'll say my answer.
Okay.
Instagram or TikTok?
Instagram, because I don't have my TikTok account.
Instagram,
operational.
because it's easier to use than TikTok for me.
Okay.
Cheat meal or cheat day?
A meal.
Day. Every.
What day is your cheat day? Weekday. Weekday.
It's the day that ends in Y. Wings or ribs?
Wings.
Wings.
Although I haven't. You know what? Honestly, because I haven't done my cheat day in a long time,
Yeah.
I haven't gone for wings. That was like my
Let's do it next week.
two favorite cheat meals.
Do it next week.
My two favorite cheat foods are hot wings and gelato.
So,
Shout out to Eva's Gelato. Oh, it's so good. But
so this video is coming out on October the 14th.
Right.
Thanksgiving Day.
I'm out of town. I'm at a family gathering.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're watching though, right now, mark your calendars.
Right.
Because on October 21st,
Right.
we could be at the rec room having all you can eat wings.
Because it's a Monday.
It's a Monday.
I can't do
And-
Monday cheats. I can't start my day with eating a bunch of breaded carbs.
So Monday, October 21st, Tim will be there. If you want to do a meet and greet with Tim and Greg,
21st.
Greg and Tim.
I don't think I can do the 21st.
Okay, we're not there. Sorry, guys. If you showed up,
If there was a meet
I
and greet,
apologize.
Okay.
Matt Damon.
if there was a meet and greet, and Matt Damon was there, Scarlett Johansson is
Okay,
there.
so here's the thing. Stick to our Instagram social media. one of the stories, eventually we will say where we're going to go have wings.
Yeah.
And if you show up and say, I watched your story on the Greg and Tim show, you're the first person to show up,
Actually, I like your idea.
we will buy them their wings.
I like your idea.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Buzz or Boomer?
Boomer.
Boomer is right.
Yeah. There's no right or wrong. This is opinion questions.
No, we
There
always
is no
give
right
we
or wrong.
always give an answer
No, there's
and
no.
we tell them if they're
Okay,
right or
fine.
wrong. Family Guy or The Simpsons?
A Family Guy.
The Simpsons.
Seth MacFarlane is so funny.
The Simpsons has been around way longer, and it's just iconic.
I watched the movie.
You're wrong.
How 100 Ways to Die. in the West,
How I
or-
Met Your Mother?
No, how the 100 Ways or some whatever to Die in the West with Seth MacFarlane was a real he's plays himself.
Yeah,
He's funny.
yeah.
He's really funny. He's
How
that's
funny
my,
is he?
That's my sense of humor.
Is he super funny?
I find him, and it's not everybody does, but I find him super funny.
Tim, Starbucks, or McDonald's for whoa, let me preface this. Let me do the Tim.
Yeah.
Coffee only. Tim's, Starbucks, McDonald's.
I'll tell you the order: number 1, McDonald's; number 2, Tim Hortons; and Starbucks number 3.
Really? Starbucks
very
number
distance.
3.
I told you,
Even though you waited 25 minutes at the Starbucks in
sugar free. I like
Thompson.
one thing at Starbucks:
video games or Netflix.
Netflix, because I don't play video games.
Yeah, Netflix. Mine is Netflix. Oh, by the way, mine would be Tim's for the coffee.
Okay.
Working. If you had only one choice,
Yeah.
you could either work out or eat healthy.
Eat healthy.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I would rather work out.
80% of your weight control is through the fork.
I would rather
not
work
your
out.
feet.
Rom-com or action movie?
Rom-com.
Action movie.
I love rom-coms. I am the king of rom-coms. I don't care. You can take my man card away. Love romantic comedies.
I'd take it away if
Give
it was
me,
already.
don't.
it
That's
was still
not
there.
very nice.
I would take your man card away if you
I
had one.
Yeah, okay, that's be nice. Be nice.
Staycation
What-
or
you didn't
I
answer.
said action movies.
Okay.
Staycation or action or city adventure.
Oh, City Adventure.
Really?
Yeah,
Love my
I go everywhere and
staycations.
do stuff.
So I don't know if this qualifies as staycation, but we used to go to a place, someplace just Bel Air. Is it Bel Air?
Prince of Bel Air.
No, Bel Air.
Oh
Manitoba?
yes.
The
Bel-
cabin.
Yeah.
And we used to go there and we'd literally just watch movies, and they had hot tubs inside their cabins.
Right.
So we'd sit in the hot tub, watch a movie, we'd get out of the hot tub, sit on the couch, watch some movies, get in the hot tub, watch a movie, go make some food, go back in the hot tub.
You remind me of a story, and that does sound like pretty nice, really.
Oh, it
relaxing,
was amazing.
awesome, yeah. So when we went for our honeymoon in Minneapolis, Minnesota, we went for, and the first couple of nights we stayed there for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever.
Yep.
And first night we spent, there was a Candlewood Suites that was like $25 a night. I thought, this must be a horrible place to stay, so I bypassed it. And
Yeah.
early days of dial-up internet to book things.
Yeah.
So I booked like a really, really fancy place for like $200 a night. But after like 3 or 4 nights, the rate jumped. And I was like, we'll switch hotels and we'll go to this Candlewood Suites. It was awesome.
Candlewood Suites is good.
Yeah, and it was like $25, and I was like, "Why did we stay here from the beginning?" All we did, my wife had not. I would say, "Have you ever seen Indiana Jones? Have you ever seen Back to the Future?" And she didn't have a TV growing up for most of
Neither did
her-
mine.
or whatever. And so all we did for the last, I want to say 5, 6, 7 days of our honeymoon was watch old movies and just chill out and other things. So
Chocolate or chips?
chocolate.
Yeah, I would go chocolate too.
Yeah.
I
love chocolate too.
Basketball or football?
To play or to watch? Football.
Football for me too.
Okay.
Watching football, CFL or NFL?
Honestly, CFL.
Yeah, I really, really love the CFL watching it. I think it's underrated, and I think Americans just don't understand the difference in the rules to appreciate the skill of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it can be sloppy, but I don't know.
But the rules are different because of the motion and because of the running.
The game itself, I find, is more entertaining from that standpoint.
Sporting events or live concerts?
Concerts, because you never lose at a concert.
Yeah, we talked about that on one of our episodes. I don't remember which episode it was. So
It's
if you're watching
seven.
right now, go back and start at the beginning,
That was a rewind sound.
and then watch all the episodes and let us know which episode that was in. Superhero ability, invisibility, or being able to fly.
Fly.
I think our guest, this one would have been Abhi Khan.
Right.
Also picked fly, I think. I pick invisibility.
But obscure. Why do I want to be obscure other than if something's a dangerous situation? And then I could just fly away anyway.
How many sporting events could you get into with invisibility?
If you can fly, you're getting into. I guess
They'll see you come in.
I guess they'll shoot you down too. Maybe.
Yeah.
Flying's
You can
pretty
get into
cool.
every sporting event, every concert.
If you're invisible, but you got to stand the whole time.
No, you don't.
No.
How many
Oh,
concerts?
the empty seats.
Yeah. Anyway, can you imagine sitting in a seat invisible and somebody sits on your lap? Ah! What was that?
Yeah.
Travel back in time 100 years or to the future 100 years?
Back in time. 100 years. Yep.
We're back to the beginning here. iPhone or Android?
Well, Android.
And iPhone is
iPhone.
correct. iPhone is the correct
Agree to
answer.
disagree.
And then the final question: Friends or Seinfeld?
Ooh, Seinfeld.
That is correct. Seinfeld is the correct answer. Ding, ding, ding. You
Okay.
got 50% of them right.
Greg, I'm going to ask you the final question we ask every one of our guests. Greg,
Final two questions, yes.
if you were going to give yourself 12-year-old Greg.
No, that's not the question we're asking yet.
No?
No, you've forgotten one.
Where's that one?
See, this is why that's the question I get to ask
Okay.
at the end.
Yeah.
The last question you get to ask is a person.
Oh, yes. Sorry. We could have switched places. We could have done this first and the other one the second,
No,
but
the
no.
advice part's better.
Okay. Person, one person,
One person,
dead or alive,
dead or alive.
that you can have a 20-minute conversation with.
Yeah. Go.
I would like to talk to John C. Maxwell.
Is he the author?
He's a leadership guy. Really, really like him.
And he has a book.
He's got lots of books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that I would love to speak to. But I think one that would be like very interesting because of the history of it would be John F. Kennedy.
And now that you said that, can I
Nope.
have a second? Oh, Abe. I want to do Abe.
Abe, honest Abe.
Yeah, that's Abe.
We want to pick presidents that have been
I'll
shot.
I'll stick with Ronald Reagan. He wasn't shot. No, I'm just kidding.
Ronald Reagan was
He
shot.
was shot. I know.
And so was Donald Trump.
Yeah, he was shot.
Yeah. Oh, like talking to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
As much as like he's a controversial figure,
Yeah.
it would be super interesting
Right.
to sit down and have a 30-minute conversation with him
Right.
when he was 20 years younger.
Right.
Like apprentice Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Like the Donald Trump that was on top of the world.
Yeah.
The Donald Trump that could go on The View and not get told he was a racist. The Donald Trump who was hiring people and firing people on television.
20-year-old younger Donald Trump. Yeah.
He would be such a great interview to talk to.
I wouldn't even mind 40 years ago Donald Trump when he was building skyscrapers and making deals with racketeers to build them. But anyway,
I'm surprised you didn't pick a mafia guy to talk to.
it's scary, a little scary, interesting but scary.
30 minutes. You only have 30 minutes. Dead or alive.
Yeah.
Any mafia guy.
Any mafia guy?
Yeah.
I would say Lucky Luciano.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would say the guy that killed Jimmy Hoffa.
We don't know yet who
But that way I would know.
Yeah. That's funny because Michael Francis, who I've referenced quite a bit, who I follow,
Yeah.
who's still alive, and I've told the story.
Who we're still trying to get on the show.
Yeah, I'd love to get him on the show too.
Yeah.
But he was very close to the whole situation, and him and a couple other mafia guys who are still alive and doing podcasts, they's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we know who it is. But they don't know either. Like they didn't.
Or
someone didn't say, "Hey," because in the
I
mafia,
think the main question
you
is,
off
where is
somebody.
he?
You off somebody. You don't say, "Hey, I'm spreading it away." You disavow everything after it's done,
And you paint houses.
and you paint houses, right? So yeah, he has an idea from what he was told, but he doesn't know.
So this is a question that we ask every guest at the end of the episode, and this means we're getting to the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Tim.
Yeah.
What is one piece of advice you would give a 12-year-old self?
A
Yourself.
12-year-old Timothy Paul Sanderson,
TPS.
TPS.
The report himself.
I would tell myself to gain more knowledge, specifically in the area of money management. And I talked about this with when we had Adam Bakehill on, who is also a financial advisor, who's my financial advisor, who does a great job. Just to get a better head start when I was younger for dealing with money.
So the question is, what advice would you give a 12-year-old self? Am I physically going back in time to give this advice?
Would you like to?
No, I'm just asking. Am I giving the advice?
You have to.
Am I giving the advice as if like I'm alive during that time, or am I giving the advice like I'm going back in time?
You're going back in
to
time.
tell them
You're
something?
going back in time.
I'm going back in time.
It's like
Okay.
Yeah.
I would tell 12-year-old Greg that the Jays are going to win the World Series in 1992 and 1993, and to tell your dad to put all his money that he owns on the Jays
right
at that moment.
Yeah.
And then at the start of the second season, let it ride.
Yeah.
Obviously, that would be if I went back in time. Yeah. Now, if I was telling 12-year-old Greg some advice on life itself, and I'm surprised none of our guests have asked that question. Like, oh, like, am I going back in time or not? Like, that's the first thing I think about when you ask that question. If I was to tell 12-year-old Greg some advice, I would tell him, today is just one day of your life. When you look at the big picture, you're only 12 right now. Everything's going to seem big. Everything's going to seem like it's overwhelming. And everything's going to seem like it matters. None of the stuff that you do in the next 6 years, other than going to school and learning and doing that stuff, none of the stuff that you do, friendships, all those kinds of things, are going to matter to you when you're 44 years old. What I want you to do is remember that enjoy life, be happy, and don't let the small things bother you.
You know what we haven't, and that's fantastic advice. That's awesome. And it makes sense coming from older you. But I wonder if you flip the question, if older you said that to younger you, what would younger you say back?
Why is your beard so gray? And what possessed you to grow a beard?
I think younger Tim. I'm trying to think of how I would make younger Tim do what I'm saying, because younger Tim would have been like, It really would. It really, honestly would. Yeah. So would younger Greg think back when you're 12?
No, I know. But I think that's the reason we get these pieces of advice. Yeah. Like we get this advice when we're kids.
Yeah.
I tell my son, like, hey, like, enjoy hockey. I'm like, play it like you're just having fun.
Yeah.
Don't go out there because you just want to win. Like, just go out there, have fun, realize that one of my favorite quotes from The Office is, I wish I knew we were in the good old days when we were in them.
I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them. Someone should write a song about that.
Yeah.
And I treat like every day like they're the good old days now. So like when I'm on vacation, it's honestly like we went on that trip to Chicago.
Yeah.
you wouldn't know this because I don't say it out loud, but I honestly am literally soaking up every moment, which makes it hard for me to sleep at night.
Right.
Because I'm like, it's going to end. I know that it's going to be a faster to the end than it is to go again.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So,
you're trying to appreciate the moment.
I was standing in center field at Field of Dreams with you.
Yeah.
And I'm literally just like, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
How am I going to remember that? How am I going to feel this moment for as long as I can?
Yeah.
And that's how I think about it. Does that make sense?
Well, for sure. When you're in the moment, I get exactly.
But that's
what
like
you're saying,
an advice that I give to
Yeah.
crews. Like, you're playing hockey right now.
Yeah.
This is going to be when you look back at it when
Yeah.
you're 40 years old.
Yeah.
You're gonna look back at it and go, man,
Yeah.
carefree,
Yeah.
hockey. Dad and mom drove me everywhere.
Enjoy it. Yeah.
They paid for it.
But what happens when you're young? You just want to get older. You want to be an adult. For some
Exactly.
reason,
Don't be in a rush to grow up.
don't
Watch
be in
the
a rush,
movie
yeah.
Big.
a great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Tom
And
Hanks.
almost as good as Bull Durham, which you got to watch the rest
I
of.
still haven't seen, but I've seen
Anyway,
Big.
that's
But
a great answer. I really, really like that answer.
So-
yeah.
anyways, those are my advice. So if you were to give one piece of advice to younger self, put it in the comments below and let younger self know, because there are younger people that will watch this
Yeah.
episode and they'll
Maybe.
be
Possibly.
listening and stuff like that. Tim didn't say any swears this episode, so
Well, you did, but you beeped it out.
that was a restaurant.
Okay, whatever you say.
And-
And if you anybody has a time machine that we can actually go back to, put that money on the 92, 93 J's.
That's correct.
Email Greg at
No, that's not my email.
No?
No, it's Greg and Tim Show at
at
gmail.com.
gmail.com.
Greg and Tim Show at gmail.com.
Do you remember 92 when they won that first World Series? They started like 12 and 24. Remember that?
No.
They started like 12.
Can you
games
imagine
every time.
telling your younger self
Yeah.
to put all of your life savings
Yeah.
on that team?
Yeah. When they were 12 and 24.
And then after 36
yeah, it was
games,
like Bobby Cox was the
after
coach.
36
Cox.
Bobby Cox was not the coach. Cito Gaston was the
No,
coach.
I'm telling you, they were 12 and 24 under their old coach, Bobby Cox,
No.
and Cito Gaston took over.
No.
At that point, he was hired.
Wrong.
Pretty
You're
sure
wrong.
that's right. You can Google it.
Bobby Cox was the coach of the Atlanta Braves.
After he got fired.
No.
Pretty sure.
The Braves went
Or
to the
was it-
World
was
Series
it
against
what-
the Twins.
Bobby Cox. No, it was the other guy. It's another guy. Sorry, you're right. Yeah, but it was but Cito
No.
Gaston took over.
No,
Yeah, he did.
I'm 99% sure that
Okay.
you're wrong.
All right. Well,
And if
we
Tim,
will fact
if
check.
Tim
fact
is
check that.
right,
Yep.
we're going to put Tim's right here. And
Yeah.
if Tim's wrong, we're going to put a big L on his forehead.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Well, I'm going to Google it as soon as we're done. As soon as
Okay.
we're off air.
Thanks for watching the Greg and Tim Show. Don't
Have a
forget,
great
like, subscribe, share,
day.
comment. We forgot to tell you that on the end of the last episode. Like,
I hope
subscribe,
you- I hope
share,
you know that
comment.
from now.
Like, subscribe, share, comment. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Like, subscribe, share, comment.
Like, yeah. Okay. What he said.
Thanks for watching. Have a good night.
Day.
Afternoon, morning.
Evening.
Insert time here.
Thanks for watching the Greg and Tim Show podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Sharing is caring.